Love it. It's the time we've all been waiting for. Me specifically, I have an amazing guest that I'd like to introduce to everyone. A lot of people already know this amazing human, my guy, Mike O'Hearn. Mike O'Hearn is in the mix. He's in the building. Here he is. There he is, my man. Mike, how are you?
Stud. Doing good, my man. I'm excited about this weekend, about just sitting down with you and talking. You got some great energy. I love our texts. We've been texting each other for a while now and stuff, but it's nice energy.
Yo, Mike, I actually want to tap into that. I appreciate you bringing up this. Every time that I have the gift, right, of telling people that you and I are friends, that we're dear friends, it's always one of the first things that I tell people is how authentic you are. Mike, you have this ability of being able to connect like your mind and your heart with your messaging. I mean, I see this on your platform. Guys, Mike truly hits me up once or twice a week, just a random text coming out of nowhere, just telling me like, seize the day, seize the moment, like, and checking in on me. How are you, right? How are you, stud? And I love it. And it comes from such a sincere space. We need more guys like you, Mike. And again, I don't want to like put you on the spot here, but I appreciate it. It's so important for us, like strong men, to be able to balance, right, that feminine and masculine energy and just be kind and loving. And that's what you are.
Thank you, man.
That's what you are.
Thank you.
I'm curious. I think this will actually allow us to get to know you a little bit more. Has that always been you? Do you think that's always been you, or earlier in your career when you're like, I mean, you're still the man, but when you're the man and you're discovering who you are and you're getting a lot more attention, do you feel like there was a little bit more ego, right? I feel like most of us are there, and we feel like we have to be a little bit more stoic, right? And not as compassionate. Was that a process for you?
I call it like believing your hype. When you believe your own hype is what I say it's called. And I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times with people that come out to California back in the 90s and 2000s and stuff. I got lucky and I guess at a moment believed my own hype, and then got knocked down really fast. And so that was a young Mike O'Hearn that got hit by that train. And it really set me to understand we're lucky to be here, and it's a blink. And it really is just about you just being the best you can and stuff. It has nothing to do with anything outside of you. And so I do call it believing your own hype. And when somebody does that and they believe that their words or whatever means more than anybody else's, it's a negative. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's you start believing what everybody's saying in your ear and stuff, and you start thinking you're something more than you are. You know, there's going to be another superstar, another, gladiator, another this, that, and the other thing. So just stay calm, cool, and understand, hopefully it's a long road and you get a journey on it. Hopefully. And then life doesn't work out that way for everybody. And so appreciate when you got and what you're doing now.
I love it. Was there any sort of specific turning point that you experienced that may have humbled you to realize just what you said, just what you tapped into?
Yeah, I've always been a worker. And so when I first got out to LA and really, man, I put the work in. I got American Gladiators within a couple weeks of being in California, and competed and got that show. And I was on the cover of the magazines because it was Joe Weider that suggested, hey, let's get you down here. Let's set you up and rock and roll. Now, Joe Weider, if nobody knows, is really the godfather of bodybuilding and health and
Yeah,
fitness.
the OG.
So
the OG.
he called me. Yeah, he called me up and says, Michael, we need you here. We need you here. So pack up the stuff. And I told my dad, and he's like, pack it up, get out. And I came down from Washington State. So I was doing well, and I'm come from a family of 10. So I was very smart about finance. Yeah, I was the youngest of 10. Oh, wow. I got 4 brothers, all just like me. So I got here, and I was very successful and put the money away, and met a lot of incredible people, investors and stuff. And so I did that, and I found a father figure that I believed to be a father figure, but I was just one of those young kids. I was young, and made an incredible amount of money, and took a big chunk of that to him. And then he walked with that. And so it kind of shows you the level of finance that he took was, it just kind of goes, wow, I made all that. And this person had no issue with playing the game and taking all that and walking away from, taking away from a kid. So I just kind of go, wow, that's life. So it really kind of set me right back into the place of going, okay, let's put it away and let's focus on you and do things a little bit more by the book and stuff. So that was kind of the hit. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm glad it happened, though. It's one of those things that my dad said something to me that I thought was amazing. He was at the time, unfortunately, he was moving on. He was going to pass away. And he told me, because I was still kind of holding on to that anger, he said, I am dying, but you are dead. And that hit me, mostly because it was my father, who was a superhero to me, and he was dying of cancer. And I'm that young, strapping kid. And he's like, every day you're angry about this situation. Stop. A man can go make it, lose it, and make it back.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, coming from somebody in that situation, and someone I valued so much, still do, that really hit me. And I was like, okay, it's time to start living. And so, yeah, that will straighten anybody out. I would hope it would. And unfortunately, it's the world we live in. And a lot of times that doesn't straighten somebody out, and it sends them down the other path. And hopefully we keep building this world up and getting these strong warriors out there, these peaceful warriors, to keep going and understanding those battles happen, and you got to move past it.
Absolutely. The battles are the beauty of life, right? When we face those, it's what truly allows us to get stronger, right? We learn from that. I mean, even death, right? I just heard one of my friends today lost his father, right? And as grim as death is, there's so much beauty that comes from it. And it is through these hard times, kind of like what you're saying, that so much growth truly happens. I'm curious, Mike, how are you able to maintain this peace, right? Which I truly believe we're all striving for. If you can find peace in your life, in everything that you're doing, we get into that flow state, right? And that's when the universe is just like, almost sprinkle this down on you. Mike, 2 questions. First off, how do you stay in flow state? And have you ever hit something that may have rattled you, right? May have rattled you in the sense that that you actually, I read that. I want to go back. I want to stay. How do you stay peaceful? How do you keep that balance to be the Mike O'Hearn?
I think that's where the training comes in. I think, we're born gladiators. We need to get in there and lift the weights, get in there and roll around. You get to, do those kind of things. And that kind of takes that portion of us that we need to do and let us be those animals that we need to be to come back to balance. So I think that's an important thing. I think I don't know if it's dedicated or I just know that love lifting and doing that and being able to do what I've been able to do. It's like from gladiators to Battle Dome to gladiators again, to being able to do martial arts, to being able to lift for as long as I have. It's a blessing that I'm healthy enough and able to do that kind of stuff. It's a nice gift because it allows us to go out and be those warriors, but then it pulls us back when we step out of there. I just got back from the Arnold and it was just an amazing time because I'm sitting there. I get to do what I love. And I think people, well, obviously, they do see that I love this. And from the love I have for what I do, they're a fan of it. And so then they come by and I was like humbled. I had a 5-hour line at the Arnold Classic. And I'm sitting there going, this is all these people come from around the world to meet me. And I'm just like truly humbled. So it kind of just sets you apart. My life has these amazing moments that I just go, wow, that 9-10-year-old kid that said, this is what I'm going to do when I saw Arnold. Mm. And here I am. I think Chris Rock said it best, is that I get to sit there and I go, I get to see that I'm living my dream, you know, and then as much as I'm enjoying this, you got to be able to be humble enough to know if you're in somebody else's and appreciate that. So it's just, I'm pretty blessed on this situation that I'm still here doing this.
Mike, what do you mean by that? I want to tap into that where you said, like, I'm living my dream instead of somebody else's. What does that mean?
For me, that I never gave up on that hope and passion for what there was never a doubt that 9-10-year-old kid had that I wasn't going to be doing this. And I wish more people would have that. And I know that there's times that all of us probably look at somebody else's life and goes, wow, that's incredible. They're doing so well. They're doing so well. And you get pulled out of yours and put into theirs. And you're going, well, wait a minute. Maybe your life isn't so bad to where you want to be that individual, I guess, is the point that I'm trying to make, is that I think a lot of people that I meet have such amazing lives, and they say that they're just like, oh, I wish I was doing this. I wish I was doing that. It's like, well, step out, chase that dream if you possibly can, is my recommendation. We're only here for a blink, you know? And it's like,
Mike, what if they feel stuck? Right? They feel stuck. I'm working, 8 to 5. My budget's all my bills are going right where they need to go. What would you say to someone like, yeah, I know I have a calling. I was born to be doing something totally different. I think I kind of know what it is, but I just can't get there. It doesn't seem reasonable to even do. What are you saying?
I don't think I'm not intelligent enough to have the answer for that. I wish I was brilliant in the sense of Buddha, and I could go, well, enlighten and go and enjoy this no matter what. I'm that. I just know that for me, and they even say it. It's like those mottos. There's a reason why they're mottos, or there's quotes, and it is, stop looking outside of yourself and start looking inside of yourself. And it's not me saying that. That's been around forever. And it's like, wow, it's a real true statement. It's like, you met my girl, and it's like, my life's been really fun, but the amazing mindset that she has, coming from a communist country of Romania back when it was during the Civil War, growing up on a dirt floor with an outhouse, coming to America, in New York, which, is a tough place to be when you don't speak the language at a young age, and making herself successful on her own with the mindset she had. That's a level of, it's up to me to make the best of myself with what I'm given. And it's like, wow, it's like, well, I was born here, it's a wild thing. Mostly right now, I mean, if we look at the world the way it is right now, it seems like everybody's outside. Hey, it's their fault. It's that person's fault. And the one thing that I noticed, which I love, and I love that she's the mother of my child, is that she's like, every once in a while, I'll get the, you Americans are so weak. And I'm like, all right. Was I complaining there? Was that me just complaining? Okay, I'll shut up. And so it's a nice reality check. And I think that goes with your circle of friends, how important that is.
Mm.
You know, yes, you got to look inside of yourself. You got to kick ass, and you got to take responsibility. Not everything is outside of yourself, that you're in the situation you are. You know, maybe that's some of yourself doing it to you. But having that circle of friends that are people that, like, I just text you out, like, just checking in. What you doing? It's a cool thing to have. They'll lift you up.
It is a beautiful thing to have. It's a beautiful thing to have. And sometimes, Mike, I feel it's often, right? We unravel, whether we're vulnerable enough to tell people and reach out to people and tell them, our homies, right, that we're kind of unraveling. I have a close friend that lives right next door to me, and it's such a beautiful thing to go over and talk to my guy and just tell him what I'm working through. And he and I just kind of flow back and forth, and we just kind of like massage whatever that is, right? Like, what is it? What's going on? And we hold each other to a high standard. And when we feel like we're unraveling, sometimes all you need is 15 minutes with a dude, right? Like you said, that's rocking at a high vibration, at a high level, and it's gonna tell you how it should be, right? And sometimes that's all you need to just get back on track. And you're like, things ain't so bad, right? I'm gonna get out of my own way again and continue on with my journey.
That's you choosing to be around those people, which is great. Because I can understand anybody that's here that's listening to this going, well, it's great that you got him right there. And it's like, well, I mean, I have those kind of friends. They're not right next door, but they're still a phone call away.
Yeah.
So why not do it?
You're right.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but still do it. Like my boy Billy Gunn, if I'm ever down or whatever, I just give him a call and straightens you out. It's like, have those people. And I don't know why that is. Maybe I don't know. It's a martial arts mentality and stuff, but it's the cool, the guys going to the guy, you know, another, you know, somebody that's done similar things. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. You guys let me know, but I like being able to go to somebody that I can look at and go, geez Louise, you're crushing it. Hey, this is where I'm thinking. And you can, like you said, massage it out.
Yeah.
Get it working.
Yeah. My guy. Mike, what's making you happy right now? What is
Watching
making you feel so? Yes. Let's talk about your son.
Kid.
Why?
If anybody out there hasn't had a kid yet, and I'm going to say, I'm a dog guy. First off, my fur babies are the world to me, but I come from a family of 10. So there was a selfishness to me that I go, you know what? I'm not going to do that route. Then I met baby mama, and I go, you know what? It's like, wow, you could raise this kid with or without me. You don't need me. So you could be an incredible mother. And we said, okay, let's go do this. And so we worked with NASA and had this little metahuman, and and so watching him, he's so fun. And I love being an old father because I'm set in so many ways to where I get to be wherever I need to be. If it's something around him, you know, I get to take him with me to these appearances. I get to take him on the movie sets. I get to take him. And it's a blast to.
I couldn't imagine.
Have a little buddy like that, and just seeing, trying to do the very best I can as a father and raise them. And Mona makes life real easy for me. So,
oh, you're so fortunate. Let's talk about that. So I love the content, right? As you're like this super cool mentor, this father, and you're showing your son the ways. Kind of talk to me about that. So is he naturally interested in getting in shape, jujitsu, training because Pops is doing it? Has he always been into it, or is it something that you're like, yo, my guy, check this out. This is fun stuff.
I stay, and we agreed on this. I stay out of all of it. I do my rolling. I do my lifting. But Mama does the lifting as well. And she goes and rolls and stuff. And so she's the one that takes him. So it's all about him hanging out with Mom and wanting to work out, him hanging with Mom and wanting to do jiu-jitsu or wrestling and stuff. And it's not Dad. Now, if he comes home and says, because we have the whole living room is matted so we can wrestle at any time.
Right. And
so it's if he comes home and goes, Dad, you want to wrestle? Cool. You want to show me a move? Cool. But I don't ask him to go lift. We have a gym at the house as well. And so if I'm lifting and he comes in and wants to participate, cool. If not, no sweat. We're trying a little different because I know that a lot of my buddies were the leaders, you know, say, hey son, let's work out. Hey son, let's go wrestle. And I said, I think because I got lucky with baby mama being Miss Universe kind of helps and being a savage, it kind of works out that it's him that wants to hang out with her and wants to do those things. And so there's no daddy shadow. There's no daddy pressured me. There's none of that stuff.
Mike, we got to keep talking about Titan. I don't want to get too derailed here. You said he brings you so much happiness. I'm curious. Follow me on this. When was one of it doesn't need to be the first one. What is an experience that you were able to take in when you saw Titan doing something that he loved so much and he excelled in it? And he was really, you could see it kind of happening in real time. Talk to me about that and those emotions that you may have felt. Because that, to me, my man, that's true happiness. There's nothing more beautiful and like emotional than seeing your kids doing something they were born to do.
I would love to say there was something, but he's 5.
Yeah.
And
you're right.
And
He's still young,
at this stage, it's the discovery of all this from the swimming to the wrestling. He's out there smiling and laughing. There's no seriousness to it. There's no switch to the jiu-jitsu. He's out there with his friends having fun. There's nothing like that as of yet. And I'm glad because I'm patient with this. And I think that's the one thing we're lucky about, is being real patient with him. Going, just discover what you want to do. We're just going to give you the options of doing all these things. And so you're able, if you decide later on in life to do whatever you want to do athletically or just mechanically, that he can move a certain way or whatever he likes. So I haven't had those moments. Honestly, the coolest things in the world is when he looks at his mother and goes, Mom, I just love you. You're my best friend. I love that. That's a win.
Yes, and that is.
Every once in a while, I'll get okay, Daddy, I love you too. So
that's beautiful. Like, how are you and your beautiful bride? How are you guys able to maintain this this synchronicity that you have, this like flow that you're able to experience with each other? There's no doubt you guys.
Well,
we have times my boy's looking over and he's like, "Oh,
I'm just making sure that, yeah.
What are things that you guys do to make sure that you're engaged and that where you guys need to be as a couple?
You can't even hear her. She's laughing in there.
You're like, yo, she's like, tell me, Mike. Tell me what you do. I'm curious.
Yeah, it's all the work she does. And I would say she's a different breed. My story is irrelevant to what she's been able to accomplish with the life she's been given. honestly, it's like, yeah, I won the universe 4 times. I've been on TV shows. I got a movie coming out. It sounds great. Her backstory is amazing, what she went through. And I wish it more. I've been lucky enough to travel the world. And so I've seen how the world is. I know how Russia is and Lithuania and Ukraine and how, poverty. And it's amazing how lucky we are in America. And me being an American and raised here but at least going over to Iraq and going over it and doing these things and seeing, the military and everything, I have an understanding of how life can be really hard. Really hard. And it doesn't need to be here in America. Yeah. And so many people seem to feel, I don't know what it is. I don't know why they do it, but they seem like I want to make things hard for people in America, or Americans want to make it hard. She has such a flow to her, like you say, a flow that there's no real arguing or anything like that. She's just like, she's so level-headed, going, none of this has to be tough. And that's like, wow, I come from 10 brothers and sisters. It was nonstop fights. Of course you do. You got brothers. I was the youngest brother. I was fighting that's great about having brothers and sisters. You get a fight. But you also get to argue. I loved that I got a fight because it made me a great athlete, but you also, argued and stuff. And that was the one thing that she's like, whatever you're thinking, how bad this is, it's not. And so it really, in the last 10 years that we've been together, she really showed me a different level of stress, I guess. And I wish more people would have that kind of your mentality of just like, as bad as you think it is, it's not.
Absolutely.
And then, for me, I learned early on, as good as it is, chill. It's not going to stay there. It's cool for a moment. I appreciate it, but understand, come down. And so it's this last 10 years and has really taught me a lot. I think the great thing about age is it teaches you freaking so much on what's important, what's not important, what to argue about, what not to argue about, how to stay out of people's businesses or when they start sucking you in on stuff. And I think that's one thing that she showed me. You don't need to do. You don't need to argue about things so much. And I still get my moments, but then her and the guys that work for me are they just kind of look at her and go, huh? Hey, go upstairs. You're a little moody. Go upstairs. You're done. So it's a good flow. We set up a good life. We set it up. We did it ourselves.
I love that. You did it your way. Nice quote from our boy Frank Sinatra.
The man.
Going back to Titan, is there any sport specifically that he's kind of gravitating to a little bit more? You said he's swimming, jiu-jitsu. What else?
Well, we started
Training
swimming
with you every once in a while.
We started swimming early because we understood the breathing method of a baby. And so he started at 3 and we have a nice pool. So he did that and he loves it. And that's something we created, that there's father time. And so swimming is father time. He took to wrestling. He loves that mental grind. He likes the butt to heads and grind it in. So that's kind of cool. Being a Washington State boy, a farm boy myself, is like, I kind of like that he's got that. Jiu-jitsu, he loves it. But he really took to, he loved football.
Okay.
He loved football. And I know he's estimated to be a 6'9" kid. And so that's a lot of height. A lot of height. She's Eastern Bloc, so she's got these 7-footers in the family.
Wow.
So he's gonna be a big monster. And so we're trying to teach him, and which is great, that I've learned so much over my life about training and stuff, that we're taking our, again, patience, And I understand some fathers are like, hey, I want you to bench and stuff. And I just want him to be balanced. And so we're doing kettlebells on a bamboo bar and stuff like that, just to create balance and understanding how to flex. So it's football to answer your question, but the long story was everything else.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I love it. Going back into jujitsu, this is like a great segue. So he's going to be on our platform, right? I'm the president of Subversiv, it's a combat jiu-jitsu league. We started in 2018. Thank you so much for all the support that you've given us. We're honored. We're humbled. We really appreciate you. So we have our adult fight this Friday, and then the following day we're going into our second fight for kids, right? So we're calling it Next Generation of
This
badasses, right? And so what's so rad is what makes our platform so unique is we are creating this art form on how we want to display this amazing, sexy martial art of jujitsu. And we're throwing in all of these things to make it so much more entertaining. We're adding like music, street culture, fashion, and we're combining it all together. So we have these amazing gladiators, right, that are fighting on the mats right there front and center, right? We have a live DJ that trains in jujitsu, so he's super in tune with the art. He's flowing, he's mixing beats to the flow of the fighters. So if they're a little bit more aggressive, he's hitting it a little harder. If they're a little softer, it's not quite as intense, but it's amazing. It's so cool. I'm so proud of my team and how we're able to put this together. It's constantly evolving and getting cooler and cooler. But the next day, the following day for Next Gen, the kids get experience the same type of fight. Live DJ, he's mixing beats right to the flow of the fighters. Titan's gonna grace the mats. Is this one of the first competitions that he's done at a level like this? Has he been competing? Tell us a little bit about that.
Wait a minute. Those are two things. You said, has he done a competition? Yes. Has he done a level of this? No. And again, even most BJJ guys haven't done this. So let's be honest here. You're not old enough, but there was a movie back in the 80s called The Best of the Best. And this so reminds me, it was Eric Roberts, who's Julia Roberts' brother. And it was just these incredible martial artists come out, but it was black tie and it was this high end. Yeah. This is amazing that we're getting to the level to where we're doing this, where there's so much more emotion than just the ring and everybody screaming and yelling. It's the flow. It's the pit. It's the energy of everything. And so again, I agree. BJJ is an incredible art and magistrate. It's a chess master.
Yes.
And so, yes, this is the first time he's done something like this, and I'm excited for him. And again, I love that I'm in here. There's nothing more important at this stage of my life than the kids. And I think martial arts, and I'm so blessed that I was that kid, that our family, my mom was a martial artist and my dad was a football player. So we were gauged into this so early that I love it. And I think it's helped me throughout my entire life, the mental state of martial arts and competing and grinding and wrestling and going to the level of what do you have left in you in the third round when you're losing. And it's like, you find a whole nother person inside yourself. You're like, okay, this is me. I'm not going to lose this. I'm going to come out. I got no energy. I don't care. And I think martial arts for kids, I wish more people would understand how important it is. I know that school is important. I get that. But the body and the mind with that kind of push and pull against somebody else
Yes.
is so important too. And I think that's the great thing about the Asian culture is that how those kids are taught so early on with judo and stuff is like, I wish America would get on board to where I get PE back in my day, but more. And I think martial arts for any parent out there, anybody that's listening to this right now, martial arts is creating a warrior, yes, but a peaceful warrior. It's a different entity completely. You guys got to understand when you understand what you're able to do, you become calmer. And
Yes.
yeah, it's a different entity. And so any parent, get your kid into some martial arts, get them into BJJ, get them men. This is boys or girls, both.
Yes. Absolutely.
100%. Get them into there because I think it's an amazing thing on growth and teaching these people, mostly the way the world is right now. You know, trauma. Everybody's trauma right now. And it's like, this shows you that unfortunately there's going to be trauma in life. And instead of you trying to find a safe space, you are the safe space.
Mm.
And so stop trying to run away from everything that upsets you and just sit there and be calm and cool. And so, yeah, I'm excited about Titan this week. I know I went down the rabbit hole on that one, but kid, martial arts.
I love it. I love it. That I hear that often, you know, out of all the martial arts, which one would you recommend putting your kid into? And I agree. It teaches them exactly what you were talking about: discipline, knowing when to react, knowing when to respond. They're getting themselves in uncomfortable situations, and you don't tense up and work your way through it. You're just gently doing what you need to do. Yeah, you're breathing and you respond when you need to respond until you're victorious. And if you're not, you reset and do it all over again, and you taste that. And that's where the growth comes from. That makes more sense now, going back again to Titan. So he's 5, his opponent's 9. They both weigh about the same.
Yes.
Right? They're equally their skill level is on par with each other. I'm curious, what are the conversations that you guys have had kind of talking to him? What is Mike, who's been on the biggest platforms ever, what are you telling Titan right now? I'm curious. He's 5, he's a young pup, to be able to, in front of several hundred people, cameras on him. How does he prepare for this? How does a 5-year-old prepare for this?
He smiles. He smiles and says, "Can I have a plane after this or something?" It's like, it's a cool thing at that stage. And I'm lucky because I know the father of the other child, and this kid is such a good kid that he's fighting. He's 9 years old. Again, they're both around the same weight. Very kind, good soul on both the father and the child. And so it's great. Honestly, for me, at any stage at this, I don't believe we need a superstar. I don't need my 5-year-old, or even if he's 10 years old. I won't be the father that says, I need you winning these things. I just need you competing. I just need you going out and trying. You know, if at some point this becomes something, he goes, hey, I'd like to do this, or this. At a later point in life, when he's 18, 17, then we'll make those, all right, now we need to level up. Now you do need to win. Now you need to do this. But at this stage, I just need him to go out there, compete, win, great, shake the hand, lose, don't cry, you know, just go, okay, you got me this time, I'll come back.
Beautiful. I love it. Well said. And I mean, that's how I would have wanted to be treated, right? As a young pup, go out there and just do your thing. Just keep doing your thing.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the best we can. I kind of like I like how I was raised. I lost, my dad would be like, but I like the little, that's me.
It's a gentle nudge. There's no doubt we want to be nudged. We can't be too soft, because we're not going to get out of our comfort zone if it's too soft. It's the velvet hammer. We need the velvet hammer that's nudging us to keep pushing us down the road and
See,
to fight ourselves.
Because what you're saying is that's how I'm going to handle it. See, the Romanian gangster over here, I don't know how she'll handle it. I don't know. She's like, oh, you called that a match? Okay, no plane for you. Have your milk. All right. It's great that I got that partner in crime to where I stay cool and neutral, and she can kind of lay into him a little bit, like that old school 80s, 70s parent like I had. She kind of does this, and I could see his eyes. His eyes are like, I don't want to disappoint you, Ma. I'm here for you. Okay, I'll do better next time. I like that.
I do too. I love that relationship that they have. I love that. That's so important for these sons to have super strong moms. I love it. That's great.
With dad there.
With pops there.
With dad there.
Pops support. Absolutely. Man, Mike.
I got to ask you, man, how much fun are you having?
My guy.
Come on, you are.
I love this.
But I can tell you're having fun in life. I can tell by your texts. I can tell by our conversations, mine, and Michael's conversations. We're enjoying.
Life is beautiful, and it's been a process. It's been a process for me, right? I feel like it could be every year, it can be every 2 to 3 years, every 5 years that there's some sort of evolution that happens like within. And for me personally, I truly am. I'm on this path to be the best human that I possibly can be. I'm on a path to push myself. I need to experience everything in life. I got to experience it all. Talking about, and my man, I appreciate you. I appreciate this.
Well, I'm curious because
Subversive.
You guys got this. You got this, and you started in 2018. Then we had lockdown in 2020. So what has been some of the struggle that you've had? Because it's incredible now. I saw the photos. I've seen the auditorium. This is going to be amazing. But the transition from where you started to this, the downs and ups.
It's a beast. Anything worthwhile, Mike, as you know, it's hard. It's not only hard. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. It challenges us.
Two different things.
Absolutely. It's a challenge. And I truly believe as a strong humans, we all need something to push us, something to challenge us, to constantly evolve. Man, there's been some events at the end of it, we're like, woo, we don't know how we're going to get through this one. But we take it head on again. We take it back to the lab. We go through, stuff we need to go to refine ourselves, to get better. And each fight that we go on, we get better and better and better. But it truly is those times when we get cornered, and we're some devilish rats, man. We're gonna chew our way out of there. It's been so fun. I love the community. I love the culture. I really stand by the fact what makes us different, what makes Subversiv different is we're not promoters. We're not out here like promoting this. We're truly down for an amazing time. We really care about all of the athletes, and we're so grateful for all of the fans that are tuning in to witness, again, this form of art that we're creating. I mean, the fact that you and I are rocking right now, right? And jamming back and forth, like, this is amazing. I love it. I love it. I love what I do.
I can tell it. And I was talking to Michael and stuff, and everything you guys are doing. I'm proud to be part of this. And I can't even think back on how I got hooked up and everything started happening, but it was just an easy flow into this to where I'm like, any way I can help to promote, push, and make this out there for the world to see. And again, I'm a father, so I understand the next gen, but I'm a gladiator at heart. so I love that we got this pit, this barbaric battle.
Well said.
And we get there, but then we got this whole other entity coming in, and yeah, it's an amazing time. And for everybody that, if you want to do something in Long Beach or in California this weekend, come down to Long Beach. Exactly. Right.
Pull up on the 7th, right? So on the 7th of March, this Friday at the Ovation in Long Beach, it's a really, really rad venue. It used to be a bank. It's been converted into a church. So we have,
I should have some pictures up.
Yeah, it's awesome. It looks so rad. It looks so good. You have you have an elevated seat. All the mats are going to clearly be on the bottom, but you have like a skybox that stands above. You get more of like a bird's eye view. It's a really rad venue. Big love to my boy Austin that made all this happen. Thank you, Austin. You my boy. I appreciate you. But really beautiful venue. And we're just excited to bring it again. So that happens on Friday. And then the following day is Next Gen, where we have the kids platform. It's going to be epic.
For anybody here watching this right now, understand this Friday for the adults, doors open at
So
6.
Fights start at 6 o'clock. Doors open at 5:30.
5:30.
Get there at 5:30. Fight begins at 6. It's going to be about a 3.5 hour long event. We'll have a combination of combat jujitsu and no-gi, right? So
I love it.
We'll mix it up. You'll be able to get a taste of both flavors.
I will be there. I am bringing my coach, Alicio Silva, will be coming with me. I got the Hall of Fame WWE wrestler Billy Gunn coming with me. Yes. I have some other superstars coming down with me that love martial arts, love fights, love the energy. So, I mean, this works for everybody. And then
yes, it does.
Everybody come out and watch the kids go on Saturday and get your kids involved. If not in this, get them involved in martial arts.
Absolutely.
Across the board, no matter where you are in the world right now. Help them out, set them up to win.
Yes, I love it. And I like how you say that, Mike. For those, maybe on the fence of whether they want to get into the sport themselves, whether you're 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, doesn't matter to get on the mat, or kids, right? Parents thinking that they'd like to put their kids in it. Come check this out. Get a taste of this. There's going to be a lot of really rad people there. Come talk to me, talk to Mike, ask us what our opinions are on whatever it is, some cool gyms, whether you're in Los Angeles, wherever in Southern California, there's a lot of great gyms. But come see what it's all about. Come see what the vibe's about, the community's about. We're going to blow your socks off. That's the plan anyways. That's the plan.
I'm excited. I'm excited just to hang with you that night. I know it's gonna be a crazy night for all of us and stuff. But
My boy's gonna get time. My boy's gonna get time.
It's gonna be a great time, man.
It's gonna be fantastic.
As I get choked out here.
Mama's pulling up. We know this.
That's right. Looking forward to see everybody.
We thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your guys' support.
Love, man. Josh.
And thanks for jumping on today, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for doing this.
Yes, what a pleasure.
Busy, so
you're the best, man. You're the best.
Man. Guys, thank you so much. This was beautiful, and we will see each other in 2.
Here, you feed it off here, man. Talk to everybody.
Love you guys. So much love. Subversive BJJ, get your tickets. We're also going to be streaming on YouTube. Subversive Official. You guys got everything you need. Get your tickets. They're going. They're Skybox tickets. Get those. They're hot. Those are some of the VIP seats. Come in, have an amazing time. There's going to be a bar. There'll be food and amazing vibes. Come check it out. You'll see your boy Josh. You'll see your boy Mike and my amazing team and these incredible fighters that are giving it their all. Love you guys.